Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 371. We're rolling a bit light here tonight, mostly because I know we're going to be streaming the Xbox show tomorrow. I got a PlayStation podcast coming up with Ryan soon. And I know Sean was streaming yesterday too. So there's been a lot of streaming just going on. OJ kind enough, of course, to head off the pre-stream and then come in here. So he'll be backing us up tonight on what has been an interesting 24 hours in gaming. And I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be another interesting 72 hours coming up here soon. But there's still a lot to break down here. OJ, how we doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I stream a lot, so it's really not too much for me to ever come on. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on and inviting me. I'm looking forward to talking about the Summer Games Fest and the Xbox show and everything that went down with the announcements.
Just so people know, Sean may just drop in randomly. So he tends to do that. We'll be like half an hour in. He'll just appear just on the couch with his Chromebook. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, we have Evan here tonight with us.
Yep.
Good to have Evan here. Josie actually is at Summer Game Fest. This is apparently what was happening. So we'll see if she has some stories for us next weekend. And maybe she'll make a video for her channel. She should. If she's going out there for that and trying games, hopefully she records and gets footage and stuff so she can talk about it on our channel.
Super cool.
Yeah, because they're doing a lot of demos and stuff. I saw Replaced was being shown there on the Xbox. That game looked really cool. Fanblade Zero was being demoed live. So there's some stuff there that I'd like to see footage of or get impressions for it. She will be on IGN Live. Thank you, Medallion. She will be. Shout out to Fransby coming in with 10 gifted Spawnwave memberships. Wow. Shout out to Fransby.
10 gifted, man. Yo, let's go.
Right. So if you may end up with a membership because of Fransby here. So make sure you say thanks in the chat. So shout out to Fransby. Wow.
There you go, man.
We're gonna of course be covering all the Summer Game Fest stuff that happened because the show itself definitely seemed to underwhelm online for a lot of people. There were still some pretty big announcements in there. We of course have the Xbox showcase tomorrow, so I figure we go over some fun preview and predictions, that sort of thing. And there was also some discussion around Halo making the jump to another platform, but we got some pushback on that. So I think we're just gonna have a nice laid back, relaxing podcast tonight, just kind of hanging out, having some fun. And then we have Reggae coming in, says, glad you are still here every weekend. Yes, you're here.
Shout out
you're
to
here.
us.
Like I said, if there's a couple of us, we'll be here. We'll be here. If it's me, I'll be here. So
I love that guy's avatar. I think that was Susie from the Rugrats. That's awesome. It's Susie from the Rugrats, and it's the chick from Codename Kids Next Door, and I can't make out the other one, but yeah, it's Susie, Codename Kids Next Door, and then somebody else.
Shout out. Good stuff. I do also want to give a shout out over on the Spawncast Patreon. Some of the top members over there, some of the executive producers, John O, Joshua Butts, Mr. Joby, and then we also have producers Justin Maverick, The Game Orb, and Trent A. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the podcast and all the shows we do here, head on over to spawncastnetwork.com or patreon.com/spawncast. And a big shout out to all the members there supporting. And I guess at this point, I was trying to stall a little bit for Sean, but he's probably just gonna come crashing in halfway through anyway. So we'll get into the Summer Game Fest business here. I will bring this up. OJ, you're going to be streaming the Xbox show tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be streaming. Okay. I know you guys are going to be streaming it, but I'll be streaming it as well. So yeah, you guys support all of us or come through, support whoever you want. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. The showcases are always fun because I'm stupid and I like to make jokes.
Just want to bring that up because obviously there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening tomorrow with the Xbox showcase. So there's plenty of streams and stuff to catch. We'll be streaming it on the Spawncast channel. Nate and I were going to do basically a direct Xbox episode while it's all going on. So that was our plan. And again, OJ will be doing his stream there too. So make sure
I'll be watching your stream while I'm streaming. How about that?
Streamception. I like it.
Yeah, and then you can just have my stream open. Then we can all just all watch it. There you go.
Let's get over to the Summer Game Fest stuff. This show was 2 hours long. Just general thoughts about the show before we go over some of the big announcements. I didn't even put everything down. A lot of times I'll go through and write all the stuff down and have it all laid out, but I was going through some of the announcements and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say about this CG trailer for a brand new game. And I have no inclination of what exactly it is. So that's kind of some of the announcements we ran into. But otherwise, 2-hour show. The structure of the show, I feel like it's pretty straightforward where you go from announcement to announcement to announcement. I don't really know what Jeff can do to dress it up any more than he has, where he has the stage, the crowd's there. It just comes down to the announcements. If you don't make good announcements, the show is going to be seen as just Like, that's what it comes down to. If there's no games that are going to make a big impact there because they have their own showcase or they're already booked for Xbox or Nintendo or something, what can you do? So I think that's kind of the issue he runs into. That's why when he puts a poll up and he asks, give me a letter grade for this thing, people are saying D, not because the presentation is bad, like the show itself that he's putting on. It's just because there weren't the announcements that people really cared about or were that impactful. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's which he let us know beforehand, right? So he was kind of like, "Hey, it's not going to be as big this year. Don't get too overhyped." When people talked about Kingdom Hearts, he was like, "Hey, we're not gonna, don't hype yourself up." So I mean, he let us know. I mean, but yeah, it wasn't really that as impactful of a show. But I think this year, it's also symptomatic of this year, right? This year we have not had all the heavy hitters that we had last year. Like last year, I mean, you had Baldur's Gate, you had Mario, you had Alan Wake, you had all sorts of stuff last year. So this year it's been a little bit lighter in that respect. So I think that's why the show was kind of, lighter as well. But I mean, for what he worked with, I mean, he kind of made it pretty good for what he had, right? Like what they were willing to give him, or what it wasn't too bad. But I only watched 30 minutes of it before I had to bounce. But I only watched 30 minutes before I had to go. I hang out with my daughter. But I did catch the the updates afterwards. So I mean,
right.
I think he did what he could with what he was given. But I understand why people think the show is too long and pacing and other things like that.
Still, we did have a few that were impactful. I mean, the biggest one, and we'll just go to it. We'll just go to it now. Lego Horizon Adventures. So we had the trailer playing here from Summer Game Fest. And going into this one, we heard about it, right? Like we already knew it was happening. We were like, all right, so we're going to get a Lego Horizon themed game, and it's going to be on PlayStation 5 and it's going to be on PC. That's what we all expected. I don't know if anyone thought anything otherwise. That's all the rumors had said. So we go into it expecting it, and then at the end, they hit us with the Switch logo, and this has lit a fire online like crazy. Like people are really trying to grasp what happened here, and they're coming up with reasons and stuff, which we can talk a bit about that one. But see, I told you Sean just randomly pop in with some random avatar, probably on the couch.
I am on the couch. I wasn't going to join, but then I saw there was 3 people, so I was like, Jesus Christ, throw him a bone.
MVG did let me know ahead of time that he wouldn't be able to make it, and we apparently Josie's at Summer Game Fest. We know that too. So yeah. Ryan let me know too, but he's also going to do the PlayStation podcast tomorrow.
Scaring everyone away. It's fine.
I know. But I mean, it's a laid back podcast. You could literally hang out on the couch. Doesn't matter. We're just kind of hanging out talking about it. So, and especially you, Sean, because you had a lot to say about this game in particular. Whether it's you, I feel like you were just poking fun at people and just kind of trolling, but you seem to have a lot to say about this one. Lego Horizon Adventures, PlayStation 5, PC, Switch. And what did I ask you, Sean, when we were on your stream ahead of the show? I asked you something about the PS5 PC day one release, didn't I? And the only thing I was thinking then was PC. And hey, what if Guerrilla co-developed this thing? Would that strike you as kind of odd to also be day one on PC because it's not a live service game?
I don't remember how I answered that.
You said yes. I would be surprised, but none of us expected a Switch logo there.
No. And
that threw everyone off.
The copium that people are exhibiting on Twitter is just amazing to see. It's amazingly hilarious. Like who really gives a fuck? Like just play it where you want to play it, but the fact remains that it is coming to Nintendo Switch. I've seen people say, "Well, Lego forced them to do it because they didn't want, they didn't want the game to bomb." Okay, well, first and foremost, no Lego game has ever sold more than 1 million on Nintendo Switch. Also, if you are trying to sell the game, you're concerned about sales, why wouldn't you put it on PlayStation 4? That system that Sony has that over 50% of people are still playing on. They haven't moved on to the PlayStation 5 yet. Why wouldn't you put it? I mean, kind of jokes aside, but even Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing I can logically think of. People like to make that the argument that Lego strong arm them. I don't see it that way. And I don't see any sort of evidence that would prove that it would be that sort of way.
So I actually, all right. I think this is people. You're right. People are trying to figure out if Sony got strong armed into this. That's like insane. By Lego. Lego's the one who did it. They made the call. They're like, you got to put it there. I'm going to tell you now, this is Sony's call. Sony wants to put it on the Switch.
This is 100% Sony's call because it's co-developed. It's not just a license that it's co-developed. Guerrilla, the people that made Horizon, the people that made Killzone, this is what they decided to do. This is Herman Holst. He comes from that studio. He's the CEO. He's the one who looks at these deals and does all this. If they didn't want it on Nintendo, they wouldn't put it on Nintendo. If they didn't want it if they wanted it on Xbox, they would have put it on Xbox. So it's 100% their call, and it's co-developed by them with their own devs. So yeah, I don't see how people are saying strong-armed and they had to and forced by Lego. They're a toy company, bro. Like what? They can't force Sony to do anything. That's ridiculous. I don't understand I don't understand all that.
There's a slide that Sony showed at their business event where they had the whole PlayStation stuff going on. They were just talking about outlining the business and the strategy going forward. And one of them did include this game, I feel like. Let me see. I can right here. So this is their slide that documents the idea of having tentpole, transformational, and experimental. This is an experimental game for them. And one of the reasons they have it, as they say here, is to target new genres and unlock new audiences. This is a new audience for them to go to the Switch and attempt maybe to get people interested in the Horizon franchise. And the reason I don't think it's on the PS4 is because they don't want you to buy a PS4. They want you to go buy a PS5 after this, or maybe even to play. Maybe you wanted it there too, or that. I think that's the biggest thing. So to me, this all adds up for Sony going, yeah, let's put this on the Switch. That's it. So I don't think this is Lego. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think they were in collaboration with Lego and they thought it'd be an interesting idea. And then they said, let's put it on the Switch because there's an audience for it.
I don't think this is there though? I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Well, I feel like it's an audience they have not technically put Horizon in front of on their platform, obviously. But it's experimental. Let's see what happens. And who knows? The funny thing about this, there is a chance that this will sell better on the Switch than it will on the PlayStation. Like there is a chance that it could happen. And if it did, that'd be interesting.
It's kind of, Bruce Dickinson, who I'm sure is the real Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, he said a better hit would be a Spider-Man Insomniac Lego game. And I agree. I think a Spider-Man Insomniac or a Spider-Man Lego game would do better than Horizon. Like I don't see many Switch people seeing this game because we go back to the whole point that I've always said about Lego games. Lego games are contingent on you being interested in the source material. At least for a lot of people. Some people, they just love Legos or whatever. But, if you like Harry Potter, you play Lego Harry Potter. If you like Batman, you play Lego Batman. are Nintendo fans like really that interested in Horizon? I mean, I guess we'll find out, but I don't know. Though it's a very puzzling situation, and
understandable. Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. It's funny to me. I fucking love it. I love to see the mental gymnastics, and it's like 40 plus year old men. And I'm like, bro, just buy whatever. Like, don't you have all the systems? What are you doing?
What do you think about this, Sean? Like, maybe they thought maybe not Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's already in the Marvel superheroes. Like, I played that game with my daughter, and
superheroes too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use Spider-Man in a lot of those, and maybe they're trying to get Horizon exposure to a younger audience. Spider-Man's already exposed to the younger audience.
He's an Ultimate Alliance 3 as well.
Yeah, he's an Ultimate Alliance. He's there. Maybe they're trying to get people to look, at Aloy as, I can, a character that they might want to check out more when they get older, or even at that point, if they see Horizon eventually say, hey, is there anything more with her? Oh, she's on PlayStation 4. She's on PlayStation 5. Maybe I'll check out the games there, So I think, if anything, if you look at it that way.
She's on PC. I have a computer. I'm good to go.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, I think just like overall for like the brand of like Aloy, right? I think that it might be a good idea. It might be a good idea to bring her to Switch for that. If you're trying to get kids, or if you're trying to just get really anybody. There could be other Nintendo fans that maybe they weren't willing to check out who she was or anything, but now that it's on there, they're like, okay, yeah, maybe now I'll see her, I'll see her adventure, and I'll buy the game. I'll buy Horizon or something. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it could work out for him, It could work out.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Just, hey, it's a wild time here in the world of video games.
Unexpected. I didn't expect it. I mean, I already had people try to accuse me of stuff like, oh, you're excited. I'm like, bro, I already said I was going to buy the game. Like, literally, like when I first saw my reaction, I didn't even know it was coming to Switch. I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll buy the game. Because, like, I don't know. It looked kind of cool. I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I buy the Horizon games. I play them. They're not my favorite, but I buy them. So I was like, I'll check it out. And then that was the surprising thing. Like, when they actually said it was coming to Switch, like, nobody expected that.
Yeah, I don't expect to necessarily pick this up and start playing it day one, but I'm at least interested to see how it turns out. Because I mean, I do like the Horizon. I do like the Horizon franchise. I will tell you though, the Lego stuff has just fatigued me. I mean, I know it's all based on the source material, but the games do mostly just play the same.
I agree. I got so tired of Marvel superheroes, man. Playing that, like, we barely played it. My daughter, she got tired of it. I got tired of it. I was like, I'm good. I'm not playing.
And I really liked Forbidden West. I liked Burning Shores. Those are very good, like, game and then DLC expansion to go with it. Mm-hmm. But a third one's coming up. They have to, like, there's gonna be a trilogy. So I'm already like, how much Horizon do we even need? Because we're gonna get this Lego game. There's like an MMO multiplayer version of it coming up. They're talking about doing like a series. They're talking about doing a phone game for it. There's a lot of Horizon stuff hitting right now. They're really trying to push this thing. So I think this is just another push.
They're trying to push it. This is one of their best selling, games, overall. So they're trying to make Aloy into the mainstream, get everybody knowing who she is and her games. So
I mean, they even tried with VR. That's the only character from Sony that we've seen do something with VR.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good point. It's a good point. It's I do what, because people looked at the Lego game and they go, Aloy's has more personality here than she does in her like actual AAA game. I can't push back on that, because I realize when I play through the game, I'm like, she is a very bland character most times.
Yeah. The Lego games have that type of, attitude, right? Yeah, they have that kind of over the top type. Is it the same voice actor for Aloy? Does anybody know if it's the same voice actor?
I feel like you would go with the same. I don't know. That's a good question.
She's out there dancing and stuff now. She's having a good old time.
Yeah, I bet she's having a lot more.
Some crazy stuff in Forbidden West, like when you play through, like just some of the wild. They went out there with that game a bit, maybe more than they should have. And she's like, all right.
Yeah,
so I can't even mention it because it is spoiler territory. But it's like, dude, we're talking like science bending, physics bending stuff. She's like, okay.
So it'd be funny though if it was the same voice actor, because now she actually has to like put a lot of emotion and energy into like a Lego role, right? Like that sounded completely kind of a different tone than what she has usually in the Horizon game. So that'd be pretty cool. Maybe somebody in the chat can look it up, or we'll figure.
The game
it out.
looked clean, like in the trailer, like visually speaking, it looked good. For again, Lego, Lego games are already kind of limited. Like you're not going to get Burning Shores, but for a Lego game, it looked pretty sharp.
It was definitely one of the better looking, if not the best looking Lego game. I mean, they said it was captured on PS5. Yeah. So I mean, it looked really good. So,
and it's going to Steam day one. So there you go, Evan. It's not going to be an Epic Game Store exclusive for so long. So day one, in case Evan wants to jump into Horizon for the first time with Lego.
I'm good.
You still haven't played,
you're talking about using Aloy for the first time, because that was in Genshin like years ago. She was already on cell phones. She is their ambassador character.
Oh,
you're
Fortnite too, right? That's true.
Fortnite. Yeah, I thought so. Right? Yeah.
She's in Fortnite. She's in.
You haven't played Zero Dawn, Evan?
No, I don't care.
I feel like you would like that game actually. The game itself, the structure of the game is good. It's just, I wish Aloy was more interesting. Is really all it is.
Now she's interesting though, man.
Like Sean Sean attempted to play, was it Zero Dawn or Forbidden West? Either one of them, you're just yelling at. You sent a clip of you just yelling at your TV.
No, that was
stop talking.
That was Forbidden West.
That's Forbidden West. Yeah,
I put some decent time into it too. I was just fuck, like
they just talk a lot.
It wasn't interesting what they were saying. It's like, okay, let me leave, please. And like,
the problem with the story, Sean, is they really feel like you're going to go around and listen to all the audio logs and decipher it. And if you do, there is a lot of stuff that happens to kind of build up to sort of this, like, again, post-apocalyptic future that they're in with robot dinosaurs. But most people aren't going to do that. They're not going to go around listening, trying to figure stuff out, interpret stuff. It's not going to happen.
I love when you guys bring this up and you're like, oh, I can't wait to play it. And then immediately go to, the story. It's like, all right. No, I don't really selling me on this.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the franchise, but I mean,
the gameplay is good, Evan. I will tell you that. Visually speaking,
the world is kind of
West in particular.
I've seen the
awesome.
Gameplay. It looks like a pretty decent single player, but
there's a lot of stuff happening, like in terms of options of how to tackle the different enemies, the big gun. And in Forbidden West, they do some really impressive stuff, specifically underwater with some of the dinosaurs you'll fight underwater, like the mechanic beasts. There are some that are like, they have like tornadoes and stuff happening underwater and then shoot up into the sky, and there's big plesiosaurs flying all over the place. There's some cool stuff happening in it. So it looks very good. So there you go. It's coming out this holiday. I don't think we got a release date for it, which is a little strange, although maybe Sony will probably just push a PlayStation blog post, and funny enough, they'll probably mention this. I assume they'll mention the Switch in there as well. So there you go. The Switch made it. Although I think it's been on MLB The Show for PlayStation blog anyway. But another game with the PlayStation Studios logo popping up before it starts up on the Switch.
Yeah, it's a little different than MLB.
It's very different. People were trying to make that comparison. I don't think that's a good comparison.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work because MLB is not intellectually owned by Sony. Like that, yeah, that's not their own IP. Not if Sony somehow created MLB, then yeah, it would work.
That one, Sony's hand was forced. Okay, so for Lego,
right. Yes.
Yeah.
They were forced. For those who don't know, John, John, I mean, we all talked about it back then, but yeah, like they forced them. MLB was like, no, we're not going to sit here and have you guys only putting it out on one platform. We need it out on everything, because the people that run MLB, they see business money, right? They see business. They're like, why are you not putting it on everything? No, so they forced them to do it. Otherwise, lose the license.
I wrote down a few announcements here. Anyone can, of course, bring up any that they're excited for. I did put down Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. I know, Sean, that was probably, I assume that was one of your highlights from the show.
That was the game of the show for me.
That was okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. It reminds me very much of the Super Nintendo beat 'em up. Oh, that's what they were going for, but I remember renting that way back when, and it was awesome. So I do like how we keep getting this. It's constant. It's like, hey, here's another beat 'em up from a classic IP that you may remember. and they're speaking directly to the 35 to 45-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people saying they're worried that Tommy's not going to be in it. I think he'll be like an unlockable.
Okay. They could do all kinds of cool, because there are a ton of Power Rangers throughout, like obviously the lore and all the series. I almost wonder if they'll try to stretch that a bit and grab different characters from different universes. Unlockable characters.
No. Original only.
Really?
Original.
Okay.
Your putties, it's Rita, Finster, Goldar,
Skull and Bulk.
Oh yeah, you could do Bulk and Skull. You could do them as unlockables.
Can I do the dance move from the Black Ranger? Can I do that? Like how he goes like from the top. Can I do that in the game?
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
At least once they have to drop the Green Ranger flute song during the game. It's just got to happen.
You wouldn't have Lord Draken as an unlockable character, Sean, because he's like time traveling and going through dimensions and stuff. And I feel like I don't know if it was the original Rangers. He may go as far as killed the original Rangers. He may have.
Can I ask you a question, Sean?
You can go. No, I don't even.
Just walking
I
away.
Got serious for a minute. The Power Rangers came up like that.
I wanted to ask Sean a question.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. We didn't know if you fell off the couch or something. Yeah. We got you, Sean. You're here.
You were fading. And he said no, and I said, "Can I ask you a question?"
Oh, the no is for John.
Oh, okay.
John sucked.
I suggested Lord Draken. My bad.
Yeah, and I said no, Lord Draken. I don't even want Ivan Ooze in there because
Zed. You just want to end at Zed or just Rita?
You could do Zed. You could do Lord Zed, because if it's not involving the original 5 characters, then it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
What was the question, OJ?
Are you a teenager with attitude? Sorry, that was my only question.
Yes, I am. You could put Alpha in there as an unlockable character. That'd be fine.
So if this works well for them, should they just keep doing all the different Power Rangers series going forward and just have them themed for these beat 'em ups?
What'd you say? I wasn't listening.
All the Power Rangers going forward, like how they they do different seasons of the show, and they bring in a new cast. They have Turbo, or if this is successful, should they just keep going and just keep doing beat 'em ups for all these different series?
I mean, they can. I don't know that. Like, I wouldn't care. Okay,
that's what I was curious about. If it's like specifically because it's like that time period where we were paying attention.
That's exactly what it is. No, I mean, it'd be the same thing with any of these older IPs that was started or was prevalent during our time and then expanded, like the Turtles games and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is the nostalgia era. There was a comic book that dropped a few years back that was Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, and it was those specifics, the originals, and it's just what they focus on. No reason to really go anywhere else.
Just go for a big bad Beetleborgs. Beat 'em up next.
Nah, I wasn't into that show.
Nah,
I'd go for a VR Troopers.
Oh,
the other one, Cyberspace Samurai. What was it?
Like VR Troopers
was good.
VR Troopers was like diversity too. Because it was only 3 people, a white dude, a black dude, and a chick. Like, hey, that show was for everyone. It had a great theme song too. We are VR.
And that was Beetleborgs was the same thing though.
Yeah, but it wasn't VR Troopers.
They were kids. That's awesome. Because they're like, we could do that.
They should do Samurai Pizza Cats. That'd be way better. Bit more niche, but it'd be way better. That show's goated. They're cats.
That was a good man. They all had like the best, like the theme songs were so catchy. They're still, you still remember them perfectly. You just started doing the VR Troopers thing, and I just flashed in my mind.
Oh, or for real, like SWAT Cats, something. I don't care how you get it done. Something to do with SWAT Cats. We need that. We need SWAT Cats back.
Next Ace Combat, they should just do like a DLC pack for SWAT Cats.
Oh, imagine SWAT Cats in like actual like high definition and good.
Oh, that'd be terrifying.
Oh my, that'd be kind of cool though, man. Like that'd be so cool. But like that IP is like in like it's like there's like something weird happening like with the IP.
Is there? Yeah, I have no idea who owns that.
Yeah, there was like a what's it called? There was like a there was supposed to be like a reboot anime. And like it never happened. It was like Kickstarter, and I think they got the funding for it, but then something happened like with the IP. I forgot. Maybe chat knows. But yeah, there was supposed to be a reboot cartoon.
We did have so Black Myth Wukong. There's no physical copy for it. Apparently they're citing, or there is, but it's like a code in the box. Issues with like just global distribution, which maybe they said they're going to try to get that worked out. We'll see. But the Xbox version is apparently delayed. So they mentioned technical hurdles. Of course, people are immediately looking at the Xbox Series S, and based on the amount of information we know, it's probably that. So that's interesting. But it is. I mean, it's still coming out on the PlayStation 5 and on PC. So it's at least still making its 2024 release. But that's at Series S rears its head again after what we saw with Baldur's Gate 3. We did have Monster Hunter Wilds made another appearance. I know Capcom is trying hard to show off this game more and more. I almost do wonder if they can have overexposure for this game, because it's just we've already seen it a lot. It's still not even coming out till next year. It looks good.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, it does. It does. But
yeah,
it is
but
kind of
I see
like,
what you're
man, we're
saying.
seeing this every event. Jeez,
It's kind of like, for me, is like Metaphor, right? Metaphor, they're showing a lot of the game, Metaphor Refantazio, but at least that game's coming out this year, So that's a little bit of the difference.
And obviously they're using Microsoft's marketing money, so
yeah.
It's a game of the year contender too.
It is. Damn it! Watch. Wait till you see when it gets noted. Watch. I guarantee you that it will. Especially this year. This year, it's a lighter year. I think Metaphor will be a super highly rated game. Don't worry, Sean. You'll get your sponsorship with them. You'll be changing your tune.
It's Atlas. It's Atlas, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Atlas.
Love Atlas. Atlas is the fucking best.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll get your sponsorship. You'll be saying it's Game of the Year contender too soon.
That's because all their games are good, and they're still like willing to come through with the codes and stuff. And it's like, oh, cool, all right, good. So like they're all the stuff they're putting out right now is just like legit. Batman, Sean, this is you.
I was a little disappointed. I wanted gameplay, and there was no gameplay. And they're like, see it at Gamescom. It's Gamescom. It's like in October.
A little concerned about that because
it's supposed to come out this year.
Gamescom is later. It's August, September, something like that for Gamescom.
I think isn't it late? Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, I thought it was later than that.
You're right though about the gameplay thing, because this is it's a VR game, so it's in the Quest 3. There's already questions then. It's like, well, hold on, how is this gonna? What's the idea here? First person Batman, I get, but how exactly are you going to tackle traversal? What's the breakup of the game?
So okay, there is one that happens in October, but Gamescom, I guess like the main event is actually at the end of August. So that's okay. But still, it's like, why, you said it was going to be there. And I mean, right. I guess to some degree it was there because like, oh, Rat King is the bad guy. But I want to see, like, I assume that it will work like the Assassin's Creed game did as far as like movement and stuff is concerned. But I never played that, so.
Yeah, that's my only hang up is it's like they had a perfect opportunity to show us even 10 seconds of gameplay, something, and they didn't do it. And they're like, oh, this fall, but also Gamescom will show it there. And like, that's kind of almost in the fall. So you're going to show us gameplay and then it's out in 4 weeks or something.
And the thing is, it's like, who runs Gamescom opening night live?
Yeah.
Jeff, isn't that like it's fucking weird, bro?
Maybe he got the double, like he doubled up, so he got money from him there, and he'll get him from him for the Gamescom too.
I just want to say one thing about Jeff Keighley. You could tell when he's on that motherfucking stage that some of these games he does not give a fuck. You see him with that little smirk and that laugh. He's like, ha, well, that was blah, blah, blah. And he's just like thinking, thanks for the money, fuckers.
Dude, he was already in that mindset when you dropped the tweet like, hey, everyone getting ready to watch Summer Games Fest. This isn't even the B team. This is barely the C team. So keep your emotions in check. It's like everyone just dropped, what was it? $250,000 was like one trailer for a minute. Yeah. Yeah, and he basically just stared all those people in the face and were like, "Your games are kind of shit, but hey, at least you're here." And it's like, oh, all right.
Well, that game was interesting, wasn't it? It's like, okay, pal.
I'm hoping for this Batman game to be good. But it's only on the Quest 3. So Sean, you're buying a Quest 3 for this, huh?
Yeah, I mean, pending that it's not absolute dog shit.
They couldn't even afford the actual character name for the villain. Like, that's so weird to me. It's Rat Catcher. DC is Rat Catcher. Rat King was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villain.
That was something I was thinking about too in the back of my head. I'm like, wait, he's the fucking guy that you fight in the sewer in Turtles in Time. Like,
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What that's about.
Just couldn't afford it. Or they didn't give a shit either. They were just like, fuck it. Whatever.
He's a rat, It's let's see. Rat King Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, Rat Catcher. That's weird.
Yeah, his daughter was in the Suicide Squad movie. Like, I don't know why they just didn't catch this.
We did have the new game from Bokeh Studios, Slitterhead. They showed it off. I'm still not really sure what to think of this game because they showed them going like the consciousness or taking over people, like kind of jumping between them, I guess. And they showed some action combat. And I feel like this is a game you're going to have to just kind of experience to see how it turns out because they're going to go for kind of that psychological horror stuff too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I liked it or not. It looked interesting.
I think it looked cool.
It's definitely very Japanese horror, kind of reminded me of Siren with like the vision thing or whatever, but instead of it being the enemies that look at you and you see through their perspective, you're going into these other people. I'm not quite like the horror aspect. I'm guessing more along the lines of like a nightmare creatures, which
it's body horror.
But it looked a little rough. But I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
What do you think of the traversal where it was just running through alleyways, having to jump from body to body as you're just flinging yourself? So weird.
That was weird. Like a lot of it was very weird, and I don't know if weird is going to be good for this, but we'll see.
November 8th. So we're starting to get some games to lock in the fall and holiday season. We did get a release date for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, October 11th.
Sparkling Zero.
Sparkling Zero. I like that. That was fun. I heard that and I was like, this guy.
At least I talked about it.
Dragon Ball over there. Yes, you threw it a bone. You did say October 11th. Makes sense. All the Tenkaichi games come out in the first half of October of its release year. So we were kind of lining it up for that anyway. And there's like a $200 edition that comes with a statue. So
yeah, it's a pretty crazy statue.
Yeah, I'll just get the regular one. But hey, I know the Dragon Ball community has a lot of people to collect statues, so that thing's gonna sell out. Like it's obvious. But I'm into it. I'll probably picking it up. I don't know, Evan, you're grabbing this one?
No.
Okay.
Another cutscene generator. Like,
no, it's Tenkaichi. It's like
if it was closer to Dragon Ball Fighters, maybe, but like
it's not.
It's just charge up attacks, watch cutscene, everyone freaks out.
Okay, so then maybe you're with me on Hunter x Hunter then.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, let's go.
They do have like the what if scenarios. That looked fun, where like different things can happen, and you can decide halfway through if you want to change the story that we're used to, the traditional one. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. If there is actually like a storyline tree that you can follow and get a whole different ending to the series. But I'm excited for it. I don't know.
Doesn't affect the series, but yep.
But like the story that like the what if story that they'll tell. They'll have like 100 some odd characters. It'll be a whole thing. So I'm looking forward to it when it releases.
30 different versions of Goku. It'll be great.
They'll do that. Yeah, they a lot of times they'll count the forms. So
Kid Goku, random one-off older Goku from this one episode. Garlic Jr. better be in there. He better.
Oh, I'm sure he will be. Yeah, they'll probably. Although it's Bandai, they'll definitely sell us some DLC for the thing. Let's be real. I gotta bring this up, but I'm so unsure of this release. Skate was at this show, I've been following this game the whole time.
It looked like a cell phone game from like 5 years ago.
The funny part about that, you bring that up, Sean, they're going to try to get this game on cell phones.
That's got to be what they're doing. Yeah,
they said that. They've talked about that.
Well, there you go. They massacred my boy.
So they're still in pre-alpha. Like the game will, I'm sure visually will look better when they get to the finish line. I kind of surprised they're not further along than they are right now. Like it feels like this is taking a while just to even get to pre-alpha. And they've been doing a lot of testing with community and changing. I think a lot of what they're trying to do right now is the feel and the physics of the game before they go into like full production and worry about the visuals. But that was a weird showing for the game. Like even in this small sectioned off trailer form that they did, it looks like they're trying to do almost mass multiplayer skate. And I don't know how necessary that is because we had that, what's that Ubisoft? What's the Ubisoft game where they had like BMX?
Oh, the hundreds of things on a hillside.
Riders Republic?
Thank you. Yeah. We had that, and that game has been so forgettable. Like I played it and I was like, this is all right, I guess. But it did really just try to wow you with the amount of people who were nearly falling down the side of a mountain on their bike. You know, like I don't know. It feels like them trying to go that route that Ubisoft's been doing with some of their stuff. And if you just made a skate game like we've had before and just built off of that with some of the stuff we've seen from, you can even say Skater XL with what they're doing with the two stick board control, that would be cool. I understand EA is trying to get money out of this thing, a lot of money with the live service aspect, but
dude, board skins. They're going to have like loot boxes for board skins. It'll be great.
Oh, we're going to get all kinds of madness when it comes to the microtransactions, specifically with the clothing and appearance stuff. But that's console testing this holiday. So we are years off from this game coming out. And that is kind of surprising.
Hey, Jeff got paid though.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Thank you for that money.
Yes. But you know what? Maybe we can try it out this fall, Sean. There you go.
Yeah, maybe.
We can try it out. So come on through, EA. We'll take a look at it. I'm hopeful for Skate. I really am. But yeah, well. And is there any big game that I'm missing? Trying to think if there's anything huge. Okay, so we did have the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We had a trailer for that. It had been announced previously. We talked about how Sean didn't try the first one. He's going to try the second one. Evan, did you try Kingdom Come? Did you play Kingdom Come Deliverance?
A bit of it, yeah.
Okay. What'd you think of it?
It's pretty good. Fairly decent RPG. Definitely not for everyone, but it's enjoyable for what it is. It's a little annoying that you're playing this one character, so it takes me out of it a little bit that I have to just experience that one guy's life, kind of with some branching paths, but it has some pretty good freedom in it.
Any interest in the second one?
A little. We'll see what they do mechanically, because as long as it's updated, because the first one, when I played it, it was near the beginning of it being released, so it was an issue on the Crytek engine, because that was crazy.
Evan didn't write it off immediately, so we'll keep an eye on it.
I mean, it's that one. City of the Wolves is another one that they showed that I'm a little interested in.
That looks pretty cool.
It doesn't have the same soul as Garo, but like, could be fun.
That's the that's the Fatal Fury game that they had like all the dots in the background, looked like comic book almost. Like pages of that. Yeah, looked cool. Visually speaking,
it's very much SNK being like, well, Street Fighter works, so let's try to imitate a little bit here, and we'll see if it plays out. And then seeing Fatal Fury characters in season 2 of Street Fighter was a little off. That was kind of cool though.
I thought it was weird how they didn't just like do Street Fighter 6 DLC and then segue into Fatal Fury. Like,
yeah.
Well, they closed out with Phantom Blade Zero, game we already knew about. So Jeff was correct. He was truthful. There was not a one more thing. This game is throwing people through a loop, though, because some of the animations and choreography and things they have for your character still look almost too good to be true at times. But people are playing it at Summer Game Fest. They're doing a whole world tour for it. And I know what you're going to say, Sean. It's another like action samurai style game. And we've had quite a few of them.
Yes.
This one looks, this one, just, again, the battle system and stuff they have set up, it looks like it's going to set itself apart in that department, but the looks, you might be right. It might still kind of blend in a bit otherwise. But I need to see some impressions. This is the game I really want to see impressions at Summer Game Fest to see if that's very controlled, because people are, of course, going to do some weird stuff with the demo to see if they can kind of break it a bit. And if they can, I'd like to hear that, because that's questionable in terms of the trailers they've been showing us then. So, well, hey, but if it holds up, that could be a really impressive game when it comes out.
Wrong, Zolas. It's not me playing games. I think it's OJ.
Yeah, I think it's me. It's me. You guys hear me?
Someone said that they can hear me on the sticks. I'm watching wrestling, pal.
Sean's watching TV on the couch. What wrestling's on tonight?
It's AEW. I'm watching it. I'm also on my phone.
I feel like there's just wrestling on every weekend now for you, Sean. Is that like it feels like constant almost.
They have a Saturday night show. They've had it for like a year.
Oh, okay. Well, Summer Game Fest. Is it a decent way to kick off E3, not E3 time? I guess. We'll see what Microsoft has for us though tomorrow. Go ahead, Sean.
It was a show, that's for sure.
it was on a screen.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, maybe Jeff will have better lineup next year, because that's what a lot of the stuff seems to hinge on. Can you get big announcements? If so, it's a good show. That's all it really comes down to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the quality of the announcements, as long as there's announcements. People want you to mention Civ 7, John. I know you're a big Civilization fan.
Civilization 7 was announced. People were very excited about it. I don't really play the Civ games, but I will recognize them here. Evan, do you play the Civ games?
Not since middle school.
Okay. Well,
it was a while ago.
There you go. We've recognized them for almost a minute now. Very close to that. Sean, do you have any thoughts on Civ 7?
Hey, it's Civilization back again, baby.
Were people concerned about Firaxis? Like, is that why? Because I see people really excited. I mean, obviously Civ 6. I know it's a very popular franchise. I'm not going to downplay that.
It is a little surprising Firaxis is still around.
I just mean because of what happened with Marvel Midnight Suns, and that did not go well for them. Like to say that it bombed would be putting it lightly in terms of sales numbers. But they're going to at least do Civ 7, so I think that's obviously big for people, that they're not just in a world right now where we're seeing studios shuttered for selling 2 or 3 million copies, and that's not enough. The fact that they are at least getting to do Civ 7, maybe that's one of the reasons that it's so exciting, because they were concerned that Firaxis might go away after that one, but they are not. They are making Civ 7.
Let's
go.
Good
stuff. Exciting for Civ fans. Give it up for Civ fans.
Yay, let's go.
Hey, there we go.
Hopefully they have super aggressive Gandhi in this one again. That was good from the old ones.
What?
For some reason, Gandhi's AI, he was like first to just want to kill everyone. It was great.
Oh, and okay, Civ is also coming to consoles. That's right. They say it's day and date. A lot of the consoles now, you can plug in a keyboard and mouse to it. So RTS games at that point may as well go to consoles. I know they're going to try to make it worth a controller too, and RTSs on controllers are always kind of sketchy as it is, but I mean, if the keyboard
Halo
and mouse
Wars.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that. I'm even going back and thinking like Command and Conquer on the
Command and Conquer, StarCraft on the N64.
That was crazy. You hold A button and it just expands like your cursor, and you gotta sit there and wait for it.
Command and Conquer, StarCraft.
That wasn't me.
No, that was me, because I wanted to call Toxmod a fuck.
What?
He said I'm cringe. I haven't even said anything. It's cringe.
Immediate thing to do in trying to like yell at someone who calls you cringe. Do a cringe thing. It's good. It's good.
I told him to shut the fuck up.
Franceby has a good point. Civ 6 on the Switch with a touchscreen is great. A touchscreen would obviously help with an RTS.
What's that frame rate though?
2.
3.
Oh, here's a good one.
3.
Oh, this is Only Good Games asks thoughts on Yuka Replay.
So it's a remaster of the game that they made from like a couple of years
2017.
ago. That's interesting.
I mean, they said they are changing up. The controls are being improved. They're adding quality of life stuff to the game itself when it comes to quest tracking, and the visuals will be better. It does feel like they're just doing a re-release of it basically. But I guess 2017 is 7 years ago. It's weird to think that was that long ago, but technically it's 7 years ago. I don't know. Ukulele, I feel like the game itself was fine, and that's kind of where it ended. It's like it's just fine.
Well, it seemed like the 2D one was a bit
Impossible Lair. Yeah, I think that was better.
Better received.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe this remaster, maybe they do clean some stuff up, and they say it's from experience that they've had since releasing it in their game development progress and stuff that they've been able to, I guess, go back and refine it. So we will see. Let's see. This is from the Casual Noob Gamer says, can you all hold up your hand when talking about leak spoilers rumors so I know when to mute the stream? Thank you in advance. That's going to be tough because the Xbox show, there's a lot of belief on certain games being there right now, and stuff even came out today. So it's going to be difficult to bypass that because it's just out there at this point. Let's see. This is from Joe, who says, my boy got the do-rag on. Evan.
No, I mean, this is just a bandana.
That's right. Then we have Fodfire says, shout out to the Spawnway family. Shout out. All right. Then we have Jeff, who says, took your recommendation and played Lost Odyssey, and it did not disappoint. The gameplay aged well, and the story is really good. Let's see. This is from Scott, who says, did everyone enjoy Summer Commercial Fest? Hope everyone's having a nice weekend.
I always liked how he would you would get what was essentially like a commercial block, but it wouldn't be presented as that, and then he'd be like, all right, we're back at Summer Games Fest. It's like, well, wait, you never said we were leaving Summer Games Fest. You never prefaced that these were just going to be advertisements. They just started showing up
and technically you're coming back to then see another advertisement.
Right,
it's a good show and you can't tell the difference.
I do wonder how, it is. I mean, he tries to put on the show and everything, but we don't really spend a lot of time at Summer Game Fest when we're watching. We're just bouncing between trailers. The whole stage part is 15% of the show, maybe. So, yeah. Joshua says, I'm looking to replay games with my PAL N64. What are good options for video output on my 4K OLED LG TV? Doesn't have to be excellent, just decent.
Get an NTSC N64.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, that's actually probably a good idea. I mean, you have the Super 64, the thing from Eon. You have RetroTink. Unless you're going to go in and completely mod your N64 with ribbon cables and solder them in, which I understand a lot of people aren't necessarily going to do that. Those are probably your two best options for plug and play. But if you're just trying to get it on the TV at decent enough quality, it probably is that Super 64 because it just plugs in. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was the biggest surprise at Summer Game Fest. It's from Adam. Tijo says, John, you really should try the Trails into Daybreak demo if you haven't already. It's about 15 hours long, and you don't need to have played the prior games. You should be able to start fresh here. Trails into Daybreak. Hold on. Trails into Daybreak. Is that the one that I picked up?
Definitely having some knowledge of the prior games is recommended, but yeah, you can get into it without it.
Okay. Got it. Trails into Daybreak. There's a demo. Okay. See what we can do there. Does the save data carry over, Tijo? I'm going to assume it does if it's 15 hours long. Yum Yum says, if only someone made X-Men 97 the arcade on consoles instead, only the Power Rangers beat them up.
Yeah, it's kind of odd that that's not a thing.
I mean, historically, the entire that whole sector just seems to not line up with games and videos and stuff releasing properly.
Spyro says it was mad, but in terms of a Jeff show, it was good. There you go. Mighty Ryan says, what's everyone's hype level for Xbox and PlayStation Showcase tomorrow? And the Nintendo Showcase. They're all happening tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it.
Ryan's not here, but I saw his video about Sony exclusives on PC, and it made me think, if I didn't already have consoles, what is the point of buying one other than Nintendo? It's mostly convenience. There are people like Evan knows, we saw it working at stores. People just don't want to play on a PC. That's it. They just don't want either the setup at the office chair in front of your monitor, or they just want to play on a couch.
Yeah, there's a genuine fear of the stereotypes that consoles have already caught up with. I don't have to update. Yes, you do. I don't have to install anything. Yes, you do. And it's just all catching up.
Liam says, I guess Aloy can be in Smash Bros. Now.
Hey.
Technically,
party's here.
Yes. Everyone's here. Technically, you're right, Liam. Huh.
Would it just be the Lego version of her, though?
She's not going to be, but yeah, technically she can.
But what if she was? That'd actually be pretty ridiculous.
Only in the Lego format.
Fransby says it's hard catching guys live. Tonight's going to be a good night. Shout out to Fransby. Come back to some of the super chats here, and we'll talk about this Xbox show because Sean says that he's excited. Okay, he's excited for this one.
That'll be interesting.
I'm excited. I am. And OJ, how are you feeling going into this Xbox show?
Feeling okay. I think it's going to be solid for what they're going to show. It seems like a lot of the Xbox guys are saying that it's going to be good. So there's been rumors about, stuff. So yeah, I think it can be really good. I think it can be good. Gears of War, if they show that, they got Gears. If they show Fable, something for like, let's say Blue Dragon or Lost Odyssey, something from the Xbox 360 era, like JRPG fans, I think that'll already be like a win. If they show Fable and Perfect Dark, I'm happy. That's like a great show for me. So, which shouldn't be. I mean, they should show those, right? So yeah. As long as they show that, I think it'll be a good show for me at least.
I was going over like my predictions and expectations, and I'm putting it together. And I'll admit, the show that in my mind is starting to kind of have that wish list look to it, where people put a quote unquote leak online, and you're looking at like, this isn't going to happen. Everything's like there's too many good games being announced that everybody wants. But this is, I mean, it's close. I don't know, because I'm thinking Microsoft is now going to kind of benefit. I mean, you could say benefit, but really catch up finally with games that they announced years ago. So State of Decay 3 is going to be there tomorrow. That's apparently been put out there now. I actually would expect Perfect Dark, which is kind of, I mean, it was years ago. It was Game Awards. Was that 2021, 2020, 2020?
Yeah.
Yes, it's 3.5 years ago.
But at least Xbox has learned from their ways about getting too close to the audience. Oh wait, Colt Eastwood just posted a picture of him, Jez, the guy who kind of looks like MVG from Xbox era. I don't remember his name.
Aaron Greenberg?
No, from Xbox era.
Oh, my bad.
What's the guy from Xbox era?
I don't know the guy from Xbox era.
John knows.
You know the person you kept calling the wrong name.
Oh yeah, Shesh Paul. So it's a picture of Jez, Shesh Paul, Colt, and Phil Spencer. So they're having a great time at the Xbox Showcase pre-show party is what the picture is titled. So they're definitely learning from their lessons. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Well, they'll probably have a good show tomorrow. So I feel like Phil's feeling a bit free right now, a bit loose. So I think he's going to be making the rounds after this show specifically happens tomorrow. I think the Xbox fans will be a bit more excited about some of the stuff. Just so many things are being expected tomorrow, though. That is where you do end up with some expectations that are impossible to live up to. But Gears should be there. The Coalition, I think, is going to show up with something that is very impressive looking, and they should be aiming for 60 frames. Hellblade obviously looked great. Stuck at 30 frames on the Xbox. I think the Coalition have something similar looking, maybe not as good, because Hellblade was designed with one purpose in mind, and that was really just like the narrative visual look to it. But I think Gears 6 is going to look impressive, and I think it'll play well. And OJ, you mentioned Blue Dragon, basically something with Mistwalker.
Well, just something like, because the rumors were Japanese like Xbox 360 fans should be like excited. So maybe not Miss Walker, maybe just something from that era, you know. But yeah, if it's like Blue Dragon or if it's something like that, that'd be super cool.
I was thinking they get. I was thinking Fantasian gets announced there and it goes in the Game Pass.
That's fine. That's fine. It's Miss Walker's Apple Arcade game. It's good. Yeah, it's an RPG. It's good. It's really good, but it's just been stuck on Apple Arcade. Although I will say it's like usually, you know, we always say like heading into this, Microsoft's gonna have a big show. They're gonna have the best show. It's kind of like been happening now. So, and then it seems like it doesn't always work out that way with like release dates. So I'm wondering, how are the release dates going to be with this? Because they can announce whatever they want, right? But when are the games are actually going to come out? Like, how good are the games going to be?
Sure,
you know, those are going to be like another thing. So I'm hoping that not only does it look great and they have cool announcements, but they also actually have release dates. And when the games finally do come out, right, they're actually like good and they boost the profile of Microsoft. I don't know, because it just seems like we've had a few times where we've had like gaps in software, right? With Microsoft, like pretty big gaps, but they've always had like great showcases. So it's like, why do they have gaps in software, but great showcases every single year? So I just hope that everything actually works out. And I think one year, what was it? Like, oh, everything's going to launch in like within 12 months or whatever, right? Didn't they say that?
Yeah, that wasn't good. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't ever do that again.
Everything's going to launch within 12 months, and like none of it launched. Not none of it, but like a lot of it didn't launch within 12 months.
They kicked Redfall out the door for a quota.
Yeah, they had it. That was why Redfall released in the state that it did, because that was the 3 games were Forza 8, Starfield, and Redfall. And they realized that they weren't going to be able to do that, so they just threw Redfall out there so that one of them hit that 12 months. And it's like a self-inflicted wound. It's like shooting yourself in the leg and being like, oh, yeah, I can't believe you shot me. It's like, well, you shot yourself, pal.
So we'll see what happens with the show. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to stream. It's going to be great. I think it's
Avowed. Well, they'll have Avowed, Starfield DLC, Indiana Jones, Call of Duty. Those are off the top of my head 4 things that should come out this fall holiday.
There's got to be a Stalker 2 update somewhere here too.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Stalker 2.
Oh, yeah. Stalker 2. Stalker 2. I think that's supposed to come out at the end of this year too, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, historically, GSC.
Yeah. But I think I mean that should be there. I think we'll see. But and then replaced, like there, we're seeing previews of that being run at Summer Game Fest. That could drop either at the end of this year or into the beginning of next year. So I think they're going to start lining up that one big game per quarter with this showcase now. I think that's going to finally come to fruition. But I think you're going to Square Enix should be there. Square Enix should be there in force. I think like Visions of Mana should get dated there. It's coming out this summer, isn't it?
Isn't supposedly Metal Gear going to be there as well?
Metal Gear is going to be there. Yeah, that I'm curious if that's being dated or if they're going to hit us with a 2025 year.
I that's just so weird to me that it's going to be there and it wasn't, because when you look back at the state of play, like that would have helped a lot. You know, it would have been at least something interesting. Giving it a date there. I guess Microsoft is paying something for that. I don't know.
Yeah, Konami's taking bags. They're getting their money. So that's. I mean, Microsoft probably wants to also make sure people know it's coming out on the Xbox. So makes sense. You know what would be interesting? I mentioned Square Enix with Visions of Mana. I wonder if Square Enix is going to be there with Final Fantasy 16. That's curious, because I wouldn't be shocked if that happened.
Ooh, that'd be
and
big.
Final Fantasy 16 was there and it got dated, and it comes out first half of next year.
Oh, that'd be huge. Oh man, that'd be super big.
So I kind of think Square is going to show a bit more of that relationship that they formed now with Microsoft with something like that. 16 should be free to go now, because that was I think it's good. It's good to go to PC now, but they're just working on it. And I kind of feel like the Xbox version is also happening. Again, do this relationship with Microsoft. So that's what I mean. I'm looking through this and I'm going over all these different announcements, and it's lining up to be a really big showcase for them. Like people are speculating on there being roughly 30 games at this thing. It's going to be 2 hours long. Well, 90 minutes, then like 30 minutes of Call of Duty. So, Call of Duty fans already locked in anyway. They're buying it, or Subscribe to Game Pass, maybe. I do want to also bring up the backwards compatibility Game Pass stuff. I feel like you kind of announce here that you're going to start dropping those Activision Blizzard back catalog stuff into this. Yeah. And you start just talking all these Call of Duty games we're going to start putting in there over the course of so many months. And in like a year, you'll look at this service and there'll just be Call of Duty everywhere. It'll all be there. If you're subscribed, you can just start downloading and playing them. So I think they make a big push with that too. And the last big thing that people are bringing up is the hardware. I think you get your Xbox all digital, adorably all digital. That'll be there. It's going to be very awkward, but it'll be there. Maybe the controller, but man, people are talking about this handheld. I don't know if they have the handheld there. That seems kind of out of place. I feel like you hold that for their next generation launch that apparently is happening at the end of 2026, and that's your Series S for the generation. I don't know. It seems weird to do it now.
Yeah, I'm not expecting. I'm not really even necessarily expecting the all digital system, but
pivot maybe they pivoted. They're like, we're not doing this now. That's not going to work.
No, I mean, I think it's still a thing. I just think you don't give it a bunch of pomp and circumstance.
Press release, just push it out there.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, I think the handheld you save. Make a big thing about it when you launch your next generation. All exciting. Hey, look, there's a handheld here as well. That'd be cool. But this is going to be a show for Microsoft. So let's finish up with this. What would you open the show with, and what would you close the show with? I feel like either one's first party, right? You do first party to open, first party to close, and then you go into Call of Duty. So I'm not talking about like, Call of Duty is going to close. Something that would close the show, and then you go into your big Call of Duty presentation that follows up.
Open with Perfect Dark, and with Gears 6.
Oh, okay. That'd be pretty good. Open with Perfect Dark.
Where's Fable? In the middle?
Fable. I kind of feel like Fable's not at the show.
That's not good.
I mean, it could be. I just gotta feel like it probably won't be.
That's not good. Why not?
Because they're gonna show the new Forza Horizon.
What for new Forza?
No, I think I feel like Fable is probably gonna be their next showcase. Like, I feel like we saw Fable so early. It's one of the situations. Remember what, like, so Hellblade 2, apparently when they showed us that first trailer, when the Xbox Series got unveiled, that's all they had. And I almost wonder if Fable's kind of the same way.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, temper my expectations a little bit then. No problem. No big deal. If Fable's there, it's there. If it's not, maybe Perfect Dark, maybe some other stuff. So, but yeah, I was really looking forward to potentially having Fable be there.
Perfect Dark is a good one to start with.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take Perfect Dark. Even though I'm not.
Sean's right. Perfect Dark to start, Gears to end with. Yeah. I was trying to think of any third-party stuff you could open with, because sometimes they'll do that and then immediately align themselves with it as like, here's the Xbox logo next to this brand new game you've never seen before. The only thing I think of that would probably work for them is the new Tomb Raider. That still has not been announced. It's pretty close to being ready to show. And they've aligned themselves with Tomb Raider in the past before. So that maybe, but Perfect Dark, Gears. Yeah, I think that would work. That's at least the route I would go. So exciting stuff. Looking forward to tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then probably a bunch of Phil Spencer interviews to follow it. So be an interesting day tomorrow to see what they come up with. Let me go over to the super chats here. So I like this game, saying the Lego version is the prettiest version of Aloy. Thank you. I like this game. Your boy says, John never stopped making fun of RGT on X Fry GIF. That I posted that because that's how I picture Sean when he's like at home. Like, I picture the Fry who wanted to try to go back in time despite being in the future when he got really rich, and he wanted a tube TV. He wanted to hang out in his living room and watch old cartoons and stuff. That's I picture Sean during the day when he's just hanging out at home. And then he just has this epiphany about a commercial that he sees.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what I mean. I wasn't even really making fun of Sean. I was like, this is kind of how I picture Sean right now while he's thinking about this commercial out loud on Twitter or whatever. Is just that's him. He's Fry from Futurama in his chair. It's from Rufflemutt, who says Lego Aloy is more interesting than the original one. Heard that a lot. James says, hot take, Netflix and streaming killing big rental stores has hurt the gaming industry as a whole. And for the rental stuff, maybe there was people did take a lot more chances when they walked into a rental store, but they weren't like buying the game. Although I guess the store had to buy the game to get it. You usually have to buy like in mass. So, Rascal says Lego should do another Dimensions game, not Toys to Life. Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo could have worlds based on their own IP. The Toys for Life, I feel like that the Toys to Life stuff's kind of
dead,
like completely gone away, right? Like Amiibo is the one thing that's still kind of sticking around, but that's sort of because it like resembles more statues or figures than, hey, here's a toy, play with it, and you can also scan it.
Yeah, more for collection than anything else.
Man, there was a moment in time where that was insanely popular, Skylanders and Dimensions and stuff, but I feel like that was the span of 4 years, maybe.
It was a pretty
longer
short
than that, I thought. It's longer, but like the tail was not as talked about.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like it wasn't even a generation. It was here and gone so fast. I feel like.
It started in the 360 PS3 gen, like late, and then it kind of was dead by early Switch. It was pretty much kind of dead because, like, I know Starlink completely flopped, right, with the whole Toys to Life thing, and then the last Disney Infinity that also completely flopped, and they just like shut everything down right after that. But I don't remember when that last did, but I know by Disney Infinity, like the most recent one, that was when everything just went completely collapsed. I forgot when Skylanders collapsed too, but it was all right around the same time. And then, Starlink was after everything collapsed. They're like, what? Toys to Life? No, don't do this. Because we were already complaining about Toys to Life in 2017. We were complaining. 2017, 2018, we were complaining about Toys to Life. So it was definitely about a good, maybe 6-7 years or so, maybe.
Quest for Glory Gamer says, RGT, have you raided any panties drawers recently?
Don't answer that question.
Jeffrey Tucker says, Evan, I got a 4070 Super, 64 gigabytes of RAM. Haven't touched my Switch or Xbox in a month. Am I part of the PC master race?
I mean, if you don't have a processor, motherboard, case, or any of that, that's just weird.
Well, okay. If you have all of that, then yes, you probably would be, Jeffrey. Rascal says, currently playing Banishers. Did any of you play it? I feel like it would make a better TV series than The Witcher. Did you play that, Evan? Banishers?
I've seen clips of it, and I've heard people talk about it. I was debating getting it.
Nate talked about it for a little bit at one point, but I never followed up with him to see if he picked it up and played it like online. Because I think he was talking about renting that from GameFly. I don't know if he actually did.
GameFly.
Nate's like one of the only people I know that's keeping GameFly going. Like, it's him. So still works apparently. Victor says, will any of you play each other online in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? This game along Stellar Blade are my games of the year. I can't wait to play as Gohan or Beast Gohan. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll see. I wanted to play through the story mode just to see what they have and like set up there with the what if stories, but I don't know. We'll see how the online is. Sometimes the online is kind of sketchy for these Dragon Ball games, so we'll see. We'll see how it works out with Bandai.
If it was like Budokai Tenkaichi 4, I would play it online, but I don't know about this.
Say that again, Sean?
No, that was a solid attempt. Just let it ride.
That was as good as I could do.
You say if it's Budokai Tenkaichi 4?
What was there a Budokai Tenkaichi?
That's what this basically is. Sparking was the name in Japan.
It's not the same.
Okay. Edwin says, a glitch in Helldivers 2 locked me to first person view. It gave me Halo vibes and I loved it. Franz, any recommendations on co-op games for PC? My girlfriend hates competitive stuff, and we just completed it. It Takes Two and Resident Evil 5. We are going to try Halo Master Chief Collection, but couch co-op needs external software and it could fail. Master Chief, I mean, if you can go through all the Halo games and co-op, it's pretty good. It is. For co-op games on PC specifically,
same monitor too. Is that what? That's the problem.
I think
There's
so.
a lot of
It is
good
funny
co-op.
because people like if you think about it with PC, people don't really think about co-op games as much as like a console, just because obviously the couch co-op aspect.
I don't know. People love co-op games on PC. Just a monitor co-op is the problem.
I mean, if you liked It Takes Two, I mean, I'd look at like A Way Out.
Yeah,
the same, same studio, then same idea too, where it is literally you have to play through with another person, and it's more of a serious. It Takes Two has some pretty serious like underlying messages and tones to it, but it's
Unravel or Unravel 2.
You have like stress-based high score games like Overcooked or Played Up, those kinds of games.
Overcooked is good. Yeah, Overcooked's a good one. Yeah, but I would definitely look at A Way Out though if you liked It Takes Two, like the same kind of setup. So it's very different in terms of story. Raphael says, imagine a timeline where Star Fox 2 were released in the 90s as originally intended.
Should have been.
It kind of turned into Star Fox on the N64, sort of. But yeah.
Not really. I mean, they're kind of two
little
different
bit.
games. The whole thing was that Miyamoto didn't want it to detract from Star Fox 64 by having a more 3D, because obviously the first Star Fox was 3D, but this was kind of like more advanced, and he thought it just it didn't look good.
Now compared to Star Fox 64, it looks terrible.
Well,
like
yeah,
all range mode.
Yeah, Star Fox 64 was nuts, man. You had to be there for the launch of that game. It was crazy.
Jimmy says, I've seen that Sony Lego game will be the first not to be on Xbox in the 23-year history of Lego games. Oh, why isn't it on Xbox, Sean?
I got Sony.
Lego's calling the shots on that too?
Yeah, yeah.
They put all the other ones on there, but not this one.
Yeah.
Lego is they just woke up one day and there's nope, not putting that on Xbox. Rascal says, I played the skate test on PC months ago. What they're working on is having 30 to 100 players skating in one area like a social party.
That's disgusting. That's not skateboarding. That's not skateboarding.
Are you very antisocial skateboarding, Sean?
No, you'd go with a crew. We don't have no 30 to 100 people, though.
It's the Battlefield curse. It's just they always want to have more people at cost of server stability and game performance.
That's what it basically was like a massive multiplayer skateboarding game. Just
when you skate, you do not want a lot of people. That's the exact opposite. Because I used to skate too, and like when you see a bunch of people at the park, we used to have like a van skate park. And you see a bunch of people, it's crowded. You're like, oh man, I don't want to be here with like many people here.
Is there like do players bump into each other? Is there like ragdolling? It's just 100 people
that would be
slamming
awesome.
into each other.
That's the last
one person who just goes through the entire skate park like just like a bowling ball, just knocking everyone over. That'd be awesome. This is from Rascal says, you all noticed in the bottom right of Alan Wake 2 DLC reveal, it's only available in the deluxe editions. I did not see that. There was a whole dust up about the physical copy about that thing too. Apparently there's the PlayStation disc does hold more data than the Xbox disc, and they're trying to figure all this stuff out, and I don't know, it's just confusing. It's like you can't seem to figure it out.
I thought it got fixed
across the board. Well, so what happened was the person went on a forum. I don't know if it was Reset Air Fanboards. It was something. They went on there and they tried to explain it. Like, hey, it's going to be the base game and it's going to be this DLC, but then updates and some other content won't be there. And then they come back and they're like, maybe I shouldn't have said that because now it's confusing since we're trying to figure out the Xbox version because they don't have the 100 gigabyte Blu-rays that PlayStation has. For some reason, Xbox just didn't do that. And now they're trying to figure out how to fix that. And I don't know. It's a whole thing.
It's a mess right now. But yeah, the PS5 version should be okay.
The PS5 version, yeah. Should be fine with that. Tijo says, I'm happy for Yongya's voice acting success. But what does Inside Out 2 have to do with games? Was Jeff smoking by showing that clip? They paid him money.
That's what it has to do with games.
That's basically it, Tijo. They gave money. He's done this a lot. Remember when the Fast and the Furious closed out Game Awards, or was it? It was a Game Awards. Yeah.
Tekken.
Yeah. So
he's not called the Dorito Pope for nothing.
Hey. Mr. Pedro says, will we see Metroid Prime 4 during the Nintendo Direct? Let's go to that now, actually. So obviously there is anticipation this week for a Nintendo Direct, despite there not being a Nintendo Direct announced yet. But Monday's a new day. And they have an opportunity to announce the Direct for Wednesday? It'd be weird if they showed up Monday and like, hey, there's Direct tomorrow. And it's like E3 replacement Direct. I mean, I guess they could. Technically, they could.
Monday morning, they could just be like, hey, Direct is tomorrow.
I feel like last year, didn't they announce it like a week ahead of time or something? I feel like we've had that with them with E3 before, where they announce it and it's like 5 days away or something.
Do they? It always seems like they announce it really close, maybe like a day or two away from.
That's how it is most times. Yeah, they're like it's a day from now, it's 2 days from now. I mean, they've technically announced it already when they said, hey, we also have a new system coming, but it's not going to be at this Direct. So they have told us that it's happening in June, and there's 3 more weeks left.
I don't think it's going to be.
It makes sense that it'd be. You don't think this will be coming up?
I think it's going to be the following week.
The following week.
Yeah.
The following week. Yeah. It's not this week. The following week.
The following week, but I could be wrong. I mean, who knows? Nintendo, they kind of do their own thing. So.
I mean, it is kind of, again, a weird year where they can play around with that. The idea of when they want to put this in June, and especially since they've already said it's not going to have their new system there. Kind of expecting a lot of the remaster style games or some new stuff. Metroid Prime 4 should be there, but that's what I was curious about, if people were really expecting it to be this week, like just to fall in line with the showcases we're seeing now, where we have Ubisoft Forward coming up. If this is the week for the Direct.
Initially, I thought that, but I don't know. I don't know if I kind of heard that it might be like towards the end of the month, so. Who knows? I hope it is, just so we don't have to see. No, I'm not going to say that.
I know what you're going to say. Whoa! Go ahead and say it. You might as well say it now.
I think you know where I'm going. It's I'm not eating anything, people.
It is throwing people off right now, because they would typically have it this week coming up, but do they have to have it? No, they got to do it whenever they want. As long as it's in June, they're good. They could do it on the last day in June, which is okay, not the last day, but they can do it on the 27th if they want. So they have all month to figure it out. Although if they wait too long, they'll have Luigi's Mansion 2 come out, and then they won't have anything technically in front of them until the next Direct. So maybe get to that soon. There are some people putting out already leaked lists of stuff in a Direct, and it's as crazy as you'd think, like ridiculous in terms of the wish list stuff. So, but that one did mention it's the 18th. So in that case, it's probably not the 18th. So there you go. I mean, it was like all the Metroids are going to be there. All the Zeldas will be there. Oracle of Ages and Seasons are getting remakes. Yep. All this stuff's happening all at once. 30-minute block.
Yep, it's going to be amazing, dude.
We'll say I'd like them to announce it more than a day before, please. Announce it. Give us like 3 days between.
Star Fox Assault HD is coming as well.
Oh, really? Skipping Star Fox Adventures it doesn't even matter.
That's what Zippo said.
Man, the disrespect.
Zippo. We still mention his name here.
Zippo said F-Zero GX Recharged. Star Fox Assault HD is coming. A reimagining reboot of Phantasy Star Online. Oh, he deleted a bunch of stuff too. Huh.
The thing that will be there is Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. That's now just going to be the first 3 Dragon Quest games.
Check out this booklet that you get with Chrono Trigger. It says, "Whoa!"
This is what on the back.
I was just kidding about Zippo, people. I know Zippo's wrong a lot.
He even has the same font. It's almost the same font. Wow. Sorry. All right, let's move
on. So, yeah, Mr. Pedro asks, will we see Metroid Prime 4 during the Direct? Yes. I think I would. My gosh, I'd hope so. This is going to mark 7 years since it was originally announced. let's
just
get
hold
moving
it for the Switch 2
Let's get moving.
announcement. At this point, just hold off.
Yeah, I'll say maybe.
Oh my gosh. It's time to show it. It's coming out for the Switch. It's time to show it. Yeah, it is. It's coming for the Switch. Just get this going. This is the last big reveal for the system.
Heard it here first, people.
It's coming to the Switch. Let's get this done. Spyro Jones says that Quidditch game was hoping it'd be Legacy DLC. Yeah, I think they figured they can separate it into its own game and make a little live service thing out of it. So it's Harry Potter. It'll probably work. It'll probably be popular. Ronald says, shout out to Young, the best voice actor.
That's something.
Miguel says, what's a good monitor for console? Have all three main consoles. Want to switch from TV to gaming setup. It's a good monitor for console. The one I use is pretty good.
Use OLED, John, or you still have that Gigabyte?
Gigabyte. It's still that Gigabyte one. It's still holding up well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
holding up. That's the one I'm using.
Yeah, it has high refresh rate, VRR, the whole thing. It works really well.
Yeah, but for console, do you need something higher than 60? Like really?
Like Call of Duty Warzone runs higher than 60, and I do notice that. So does Halo as well. Both of those I can first-person shooters. I can notice those really easily. But I get what you're saying because a lot of the obviously console games we talk about are like
30
or less. Yeah, 30. Yeah. But like competitive shooters, they're all targeting above that. I bet you Valorant will probably target above 60 on consoles as well.
You better hit 120 on that one.
Yeah, I feel like they will have a 120 option. So that's what I would get the monitor. That's what I assume you're moving to a monitor for, is to try to take advantage of the higher refresh rates and VR and all these things that monitors typically come with outside of what TVs would sometimes have built in, depending on the brand. But I would need the exact model number of this Gigabyte. It's not like a massive monitor either, Miguel. So I don't know if you're looking for like the wraparound widescreen, the Samsung Odyssey or something. I mean, this one, they have different variants of it. I think this one's a 28 inch that I use, and it's at the desk, so I'm usually closer to it. But nowadays you can find a really good monitor with all the features and typically 4K or 1440p with high refresh rate, and it's like 500 or less for like the higher quality ones. Let's see if I can find that Gigabyte model number. Callan Shaw says, Meta Connect is late September. We'll announce Quest 3S for October. Batman likely to drop right after. I think it'll move lots of headsets if it's $300. Oh, thank you, Callan Shaw. Okay, Sean, mark that down. Meta Connect, late September.
It's marked.
San Andreas might be there.
Hopefully.
Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Oscar says, favorite Summer Game Fest reveal wasn't even part of the show. The Thing Remastered, an HXH fighting game.
Yeah.
Thing Remastered.
IGN Live.
Yeah.
Dude, I played the weirdest fucking RPG right now. I bet you none of you have played this game before.
I mean, probably, but you're saying it's the weirdest as well.
Weirdest.
What system? What's
Like
system? Yeah.
PS1.
PS1.
Oh, PS1.
There's a lot of weird ones on there.
Never released stateside.
But
there's a translation. You can play it. Fucker.
No, it never released stateside. Well, yeah, we probably haven't played it then. What's did the translation come out recently?
Racing Lagoon. It's not recent.
No.
It's a car PG. It's absolutely fascinating. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Racing Lagoon, like, do you drive and then it stops and you battle with your car?
You drive and then someone flashes their lights and you race them. But there's like a huge overarching story going on right now. Like, I just pulled up to the graveyard to help this dude out, Kenzo, who's like my friend. I just started it. And like there's like rival racing gangs and stuff, and there's
wait, do you get out of your car in this, or is this all just done from the car?
Yeah, it's a Square game. No, like I'm out of
Development Division 2. What in the world?
Like, no, I don't think like many people have ever heard of this game, but like it's something. Like, I don't know if I like it quite yet, but I don't hate it. When you race someone and you win, you take one of their parts from their car.
What in the what?
Like a
Oh,
Mortal
dude,
Kombat
this is-
fatality? Do you just like stand up on it and just shove your hand into it?
It says the game is compatible with Sony Pocket Station too. I have that.
Yeah, I'm playing it on the ROG.
Well, I have the whatchamacallit for the ODE for the PS1. Technically, I could put that on there and play it.
Yeah, but you need the English version because you won't know what the fuck you're doing.
I see it here. Yeah, I see the fan. Okay, well, that was in 2021 that was released. That translation. So it's not like it happened. It was like
no, it's
10
not
years
new.
ago or something.
It's just nobody's really ever like heard or talked about this game.
Dude, this looks interesting.
It's pretty fun.
Oh, it didn't get reviews weren't great for it. Maybe that's why it wasn't like revered.
I mean,
Famitsu gave it a 26 out of 40.
Famitsu also didn't they give Sonic Forces higher than that? Like, come on,
they got like a 35 or 36 out of 40.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you guys see this new Punch Out game that's coming out?
There's a new Punch Out game.
It's like not an actual Punch Out, but it's like an indie Punch Out. It's called Big Boy Boxing. I'm gonna put a link for you guys.
Boy Boxing.
Yeah, Big Boy Boxing. I'm gonna put
a lot of stuff's kind of getting announced right now.
Yeah. A lot of stuff's getting announced. I just wanted to know. So we got some Punch Out fans here. Yeah.
Plucky Squire has a mini game in it that's like Punch Out. I remember that.
Oh, the animation looks really cool for that.
Yeah.
Whoa. That looks like a PS1 game, kind of, the way they have it set up. Oh, that's cool. Oh.
Big Boy Boxing.
Racing Lagoon. I'm looking at that, Sean. That's kind of cool. Oh, you gonna make a video on it?
I might. Depends. It's fun though. I like it.
Interesting. Okay. Casual Noob Gamer says y'all forgot to hold up your hands. Sheesh. Hey, it's all guesses and predictions. That's all. Who knows what's gonna be at the Xbox show tomorrow? Christian says, will Microsoft kill Game Pass if COD doesn't hit? Well, COD's going to sell a bunch of copies. No, I think Microsoft's too deep into Game Pass now. They got to try to make it work. They're kind of stuck. Another shout out to Fransby, who gifted another 10 Spawn Wave memberships.
Let's go.
Shout out to Fransby. Just hooking people up with memberships in the chat right now. If you got one, make sure you're saying thank you in the chat. Shout out to Fransby, though. Edwin says, I've got it, guys. Elon Musk buys Xbox and releases the Xbox 180 integrated Twitter X trash talking.
That's what the AI was all about.
Oh, man. Well, Rufflemutt says, happy gamers are finally feeling realism fatigue. Yeah, the diminishing returns are setting in. RG says, Tomba, let's go. I'm going to purchase it on all platforms. By the way, I'm the guy who would ask MVG for the release date for Tomba. Thank you, MVG. Brian.
Oh, you're welcome, mate.
MVG came through. Michael says, 1v1 me and Sparking Zero Spawn Wave. Coward, I know you're a fan.
I mean,
all right, Michael.
Playing pussy. What are you doing?
We'll see.
Yeah, do it right now. Load up.
Yeah, right? Load it up. These Gnats says, anyone mention Spyro for Microsoft's showcase? Spyro might be there. I mean, it could be there because Toys for Bob has been teasing something, and now they're moving on to a new game. So, could be a new Spyro game, brand new one. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe that's what you open with, brand new Spyro game. Maybe Banjo's there, and MVG can go back to Reddit finally.
He said he's unbanned. They obviously have
why'd they unban him?
Loose restrictions over there.
Tijo says, here's a fun fact. The regular Budokai games were known in Japan just as Dragon Ball Z and then 2 and then 3.
We're talking about Budokai Tenkaichi.
Thank you. Are you just trying to say it very, very fast? Is that the idea?
I don't really care.
You're close. You were close. You're close.
Someone in the chat said you say it wrong too. You had an extra I, so.
Oh, do I? Tenkaichi.
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 It's just Sparking. We just use Sparking now, right?
That's why they just changed it to Sparking Zero.
Yeah.
just globalize it, basically. Casual Noob Gamer says Nintendo will announce the Direct when YouTube fixes their back-end leak problem. Please don't forget to raise your hands when talking about leaks. Yeah, that was the whole thing too. The situation on YouTube, which that was kind of. Oh, here we go. This is from DC Fat Kid. It says, John, can we road trip 20 hours of podcasts? 20 hours of podcasts.
Yeah, because that's what you don't listen to music, you weirdo.
Hey. So the YouTube backend problem, that was something we've talked about previously, but yes, apparently it was indeed people who worked at Google and YouTube that were viewing private videos and live streams from these companies and getting some of the leaks that way, which we've speculated on and mentioned, and people figured that's what was happening, but it seems like based on a new report that is indeed what was going on. And one, I think this was over on Insider Gaming. Tom Henderson mentioned this. Apparently they sold some of the information too. So there was actual money changing hands over this, which is
God damn it, Nintendo Prime. Why are you spending money on that?
I like the report was funny because it was like,
wow. Sorry.
One source says that they sold the information for money amounting to 3 figures. It's like 3 figures.
Damn, son.
Why did he say it like that?
That's some real fucking money being spent.
3 figures. It's like they gave him $100 for it. Okay. All right. Nintendo's happened up till 2018, but apparently the reason Sony's State of Play recently leaked the whole thing, which it all did, is probably from this. So that's
what you got, bro? I got a $1.75 deal.
Right? Yeah, that's the 3 figures. That's a weird thing. Like if they said like 5 figures, I'm like okay, well,
3 figures, bro.
3 figures. That's what they said in the article. I was like, oh wow, okay. Sure.
No, I saw that. Wait, somebody just rolled up and said, "Yo, I'll give you $224 for a phone."
Hey, down payment on iPad. There you go.
Oh man, I need to get on some of them leaks, bro.
We do. We also have Ubisoft Forward. Basically, this week coming up, Ubisoft Forward is happening.
Do we stream those anymore, John? Are we streaming those, or are we?
I don't really touch Ubisoft Forward much, although
it's gonna be Just Dance, Assassin's Creed. They're gonna show some gameplay. Like, what's the point?
Assassin's Creed will be there.
Ever since they screwed us over a number of years ago, I don't trust them.
Ubisoft Forward is kind of weird. They'll do some weird stuff to streamers when they're trying to just show off their games and stuff and kind of watch the community. They'll come in with this weird block, even midway live, like while you are live, they will block your channel. It's crazy. But that a lot of that has to do with like the musical stuff. But Ubisoft Forward, obviously we'll see the Assassin's Creed gameplay. That would probably be a big.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Outlaw.
Star Wars. Is it just me or has Star Wars Outlaw been looking more and more interesting as they've shown it?
I've never hated it. I know that goes against people's idea of me, but I've never hated it.
Did you see the news that came out today about it, Sean?
No.
They're gonna have a full crime system in the game, where you will have like basically a rap sheet, and for example, if you call it stealing, they'll slowly ramp up just I guess the Empire, whoever coming after you, to where you'll have like the 5-star system in Grand Theft Auto tagged. So that's something else. They just keep adding on to this game as they go, and it's looking better and better as they show it. So I'm waiting for them to all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, your main character's Forswear and I have a lightsaber. Like, I'm waiting for them to just lean into the lightsaber. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just keep it this way the whole time. Okay, so with that, okay, and the one I just want to put this out there. It's possible. I don't know what's going to happen. We might see Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell might be there. And I say that because Ubisoft Toronto has moved on, and they've moved over to help out now with Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. Them and Montreal are working on it, which that's a pretty good duo, by the way, of studios within Ubisoft to be working on Prince of Persia. So that first version must have been pretty bad for them to come over and do this. But either way, I'm kind of feeling Splinter Cell. I'm kind of thinking we're going to see it in some way. So that'd be a really cool reveal and announcement to have again. Have Splinter Cell finally make its return, and not in some like live service cell phone game like they did that one year, which was shameful. Oh, we did have the 8K removed from the PS5 box.
Wow.
You can all sleep well at night now. It's gone. We had one game, right? Evan, you said it was the Tourist.
The Tourist, yeah, it was 8K.
Yeah, but that was just downscaled, I thought, was what we found out.
Just downsampled from above 4K, but that's like the one game that apparently tried to go above 4K, but they removed it. Happened apparently months ago, and people just now noticed. Maybe it's going on the PS5 Pro box. Maybe that's the plan. This is from, again, D's Gnats. Says, one more figure and I can buy a Nintendo Leak.
Not wrong.
Tanman Slim says, have you all seen the chromatic FPGA Game Boy? I have. I actually ordered one.
That was in Newswave. I edited that.
I did. I bought one. It's supposed to be here by the end of the year. And this is apparently the closest thing we have to like the old Game Boy Color in terms of the screen, aspect ratio, the whole thing. And they're going back and they're doing like licensed games that you buy on cartridges now. And they in-house developed a version of Tetris for this system. So you're going to get Tetris with it when you buy the Game Boy. But it's the screen gets super bright. It's set up to be the perfect pixel by pixel aspect ratio to it. So I'm curious. Perhaps may have like magnesium alloy. I don't know. It's going to be hopefully feel pretty solid.
You big in magnesium? Is that one of your things?
Only for Game Boys. Only for the Game Boys.
Okay.
Specifically the portrait one, not the landscape one. Portrait ones. Stillion Gamer says, can we get a Dreamcast guy welfare check? With like 6 M's.
We got
says, well,
emphasis on the E.
Well, that's your thing, because you just apparently can do it for like a solid minute now without passing out. Although you're laying down on the couch, so you might roll off the couch doing it.
I'm not laying down. I'm sitting on the couch.
Christian says, we'll all be squealing, whoa, 2 exclamation points, come Tuesday or Wednesday. It might be. Might be. Wow. I'm hoping for a fun week. We'll see. And final topic, The Verge reports that this is from Tom Warren over at The Verge, reported that Microsoft is going to do a remaster of Halo Combat Evolved, the original Halo, which is an odd one because it exists technically. We have Halo Anniversary, and then we got the Master Chief Collection that went into, so it is accessible by many people right now. And then he brought up the idea that Microsoft is considering a PlayStation release for it, which then got seemingly refuted by Windows Central and I think a few other people on social media from Xbox, kind of. So that was kind of a weird one. The whole thing with this is he says they considered PlayStation. He can technically be right, and then just never comes out on PlayStation.
But why bring it up unless you're confident? It just seems like your engagement clicking. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
You answered your question.
Yeah. Do you know that The Verge blocked me on Twitter? I don't even know why.
You got blocked by a publication?
I must have said something they did sucked ass or something, and they blocked me. But,
You got blocked by The Verge? What?
I don't know.
If people don't realize this, people in the chat, Sean is blocked by a lot of people on Twitter. Like a lot of people. If you send him a message, he might just go, I'm blocked. That's something half the time that's how he answers. I'm blocked.
What did you say about the journals? I think that's what got you blocked.
No, this was before that.
Still, it's preemptively. I knew it was coming.
Hey, Josie's here.
Hi.
What's up, Josie?
Hi.
I did not think you'd
in the last 10 minutes.
Wow,
I know. Well, I zoomed home and then I was like, oh, I could technically make it for like a second. So
how was your time?
it was cool. It was I don't know. I've never been to any of those, so I guess I just don't know what to expect, but I had a pretty good time. I just demoed a couple games, and none of the games I demoed though were like the games that are like exciting and people like announce really. So I played this game that was sort of like Jet Set Radio, but with BMX bikes. That was cool. It was actually very fun. I wrote the name down so I didn't forget it on my phone. I'll pull it up. That's coming out in September, so that was cool. And then I met Celia of Yacht Club Games IRL. That was fun.
Did she wear deodorant?
Celia and I were probably the only people in there that didn't stink. It was crazy.
Joe's here for 2 minutes, immediately burying everyone at Summer Game
Will
Fest.
you go? It was just IGN Live, but so it wasn't. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't. It's called Parcel Core. I don't know.
Some people in chat were talking about it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah, Parcel Core. Yep. It was good. Okay. Very fun. It was a cool event. Apparently, it was like their first one, and I felt like it was pretty well ran for a first event. They had a bunch of panels. I didn't really go to the one I wanted to go to. Celia came, and then we were talking, and we missed it. So, yeah.
No.
What can you do?
He's got a good time there.
How tall is Celia in real life?
She's like an inch taller than I think she's 5'5", because she was like an inch taller than I was.
Gotcha.
Or so.
Okay. Well, yeah, you had a good time there.
No, it was fun. Met some people. Fun. I took my friend. We had a good time. We just kind of mobbed around. It was the first time I've been at one of those where I can drink, so I had a beer. That was pretty cool.
Did you meet Jeff Keighley?
No, Keighley wasn't at that one.
Did you meet Jeff Grubb?
No, but Celia was going to go do his thing after.
She was like, because Giant Bomb is doing a thing too. You know
Giant Bomb is
everyone's there.
Yeah.
All Sean's friends are there.
All my great friends are there. Yeah.
Well, what can you do?
You're just talking about how Sean's blocked by everyone on Twitter, so everyone you've met today is probably blocked.
Yeah,
Sean.
probably. Yeah.
You should have just walked up, shaking hands, and asked what they think of Sean immediately. What do you think of RGT?
Should have sent you an RGT shirt to wear there. They probably.
I'm not.
Probably would have kicked
these
you
people
out.
to like me. I guess not, but I don't know. I didn't do anything, so I don't want to be attacked.
I didn't do anything. Fuck.
That you remember.
He was just blackout drunk, and he sent all these crazy tweets. Yeah, it was cool though. It was pretty fun. Not too far from where I am, so I was like, and Celia was like, "I'll get you a ticket," and I was like, "Absolutely, I'll go check it out." But
Yoshi's way more social than most of us, especially Sean.
I think so.
Sean won't. You're the one who said you won't cross the Mississippi.
I don't want to cross the Mississippi. There's
I mean,
out there.
Like self-admit all of this.
Listen, I used to be social. We're all old though. When I was younger, when I was Josie's age, I was absolutely social. But the older you get, the more bitter.
There's a ton of old guys there.
Yeah, they have to be there.
Old guys there.
They got to be there for
continuing.
Literally, Celia and I were maybe like 2 of 4 girls that I saw there.
No, they got to be there for work. They got to be there for. I'm telling you, the older you get, the more you're like, man, screw this. I don't want to do it.
I don't know if I can go for free. I'm like, absolutely.
Are you gonna stream the Xbox showcase tomorrow?
What time is that at?
10 a.m. your time.
Yeah.
I could technically, maybe,
okay.
Probably. Right. Actually, yeah, I'll do that.
You have Game Pass, don't you?
I will re-up it if there's anything cool.
There you go. Say you might want to tune in then.
Yeah,
might be a good opportunity to see what they have for you. Try to win you back as a Game Pass subscriber. Let's see. This is from Max Moo, says, first time catching a stream live. So what's up? Any predictions for Xbox tomorrow? Personally, would like to see Shattered Space and more about Starfield. Starfield will be there. You should see the DLC. That won't be a problem. My prediction, though, that I'd like to see Perfect Dark. So I think we'll see that.
Do we think Indiana Jones is going to be there?
Yes, they should date it. I'm going to say December.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
I hope they do an in memoria segment like at any award show where they just show a bunch of like the dev studio logos popping up. It'd be good.
Well, I think I want people to forget about that already. Garrett says, mega money making pitch, Star Wars GTA. A coffee minigame. Yeah, wow, with all those aliens. Thanks, Garrett. DC Fat Cat says, Josie was the coolest streamer of Summer Game Fest. Oh, you did stream it, didn't you, Josie?
I did. I wasn't interested in the game, so I just like started talking in a British accent because I was like, I don't know. I was bored. I was like, this is lame, mate. What are we doing? Yeah. No, I sounded exactly like it. I realized he's the reason I do that now because when we were playing Mario Kart and he would die, he would be like, no.
Oh
That was
no.
very funny.
The Arn.
Has he
Nor-
beaten you in any games
No.
that you played? Okay.
No.
You guys played 2 so far, right?
Tekken and Mario Kart. Yeah, just the 2.
Okay.
We'll play so. I think we just got to play something MVG's going crazy at.
Go
which
ahead,
I don't
say
really
it.
know.
You're about to say he's good at. You're about to say something.
something he has more experience with.
Is it Windjammers? It's gotta be Windjammers.
Oh, Windjammers be a good one. You guys should play Windjammers. That's a
Okay.
fun game. It's kind of like next level Pong almost.
Okay.
Hyper
Yeah,
aggressive.
it's very
Pong.
fun. It's very good. Great game.
I've
Shinru
broken
says,
so
hey-
many freaking stations for that thing.
yeah, we used to play that a lot back in the day. Shinru says, hey, Evan, do you have any monitor suggestions for art? Out of curiosity, got my friend a Samsung Odyssey with 165 hertz with HDR10 for about $300. That's
Just
pretty good.
reviewing art or actually making it? Because if you're trying to make it, look up Huion or XP Pen. Those tend to be really good monitors for actually digitally creating artwork.
Oh, okay. What are the ones where you can draw directly on the monitor?
That's Huion, XP Pen,
that's-
Wacom. But problem with Wacom is Wacom's like $3,000, and then if there's a slight bug with it, when you get it, they'll make you pay for shipping to repair it. I
Oh.
hate them. I hate them so much.
Casual Noob Gamer says, Josie, how many figures to leak Summer Game Fest secrets? Did you hear that story, Josie, about the YouTube the way that a lot of the stuff apparently leaked out over the last so many years, especially recently with Sony, was that people within YouTube or Google, there were employees that apparently were looking at the live streams or videos that were privated, and they pulled information from it, and they sold it for, according to the article, 3 figures. Yeah, go and think
like
about that
a
for a
couple
second.
hundred. What is that?
Yeah, that's why. It was funny. The way
Big
that they put it
money,
in the article.
big money out
Figures.
there. Okay, you think like Nate's buying that? That's how he's putting out his information.
Yeah,
Nate wouldn't.
No.
Nate wouldn't spend $300. Cheap
Yeah,
ass.
no, I was gonna say we can't get Nate to buy. What is it, Sean? Killer Clowns from Outer Space or whatever.
He won't buy air conditioning.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's true.
He has this huge, just loud fan like during Game and Talk. It's horrendous.
It's his old fan too, so you hear that like oscillating metal sound of just.
Yeah, it's literally so loud and like.
Tell you, man, he's Julius. Y'all, everybody hates Chris. Check it. Look up Julius from Everybody Hates Chris. That is Nate.
It's between that fan and the ducks in his pool. It's just ridiculous.
DC Fat Kid says my prediction for tomorrow's show: Pain.
Hopefully.
But for who?
I think people will mostly enjoy the show tomorrow. So, although it's the internet, I can't necessarily guarantee that. There's probably gonna be people who hate it. Truly Epic says, if you could have one video game food item in real life, what would it be?
Pizza.
Specifically, the one from Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, like the super cheesy ones that look actually very unhealthy. Yeah.
I would like the Castlevania meat when you hit the damn bricks and the chicken just pops.
Bricks turning into meat. Is it
Yeah.
because the bricks are meat, or is it because
That
there's meat in the bricks?
And somehow it's like the best looking, like yeah, I'd take that.
I'd like to have a peach from Animal Crossing off the trees.
Ooh. Oh yeah, the fruit in
Okay.
Animal Crossing look good.
Yeah.
Over to Streamlabs as well as we finish up here. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna start with OJ. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you can find me right here. YouTube Player Essence had a bunch of cool videos that I did a top 25 AAA JRPGs that should make their way to Switch 2. So if you want to check out that video, and I'm streaming tomorrow. So if you want to hang out, I'll be streaming pretty much, and I stream pretty much daily on the channel now at this point. So stream RPG and Nintendo stuff, and I got a bunch of cool RPG and Nintendo videos coming up channel soon. So thanks for having me on, John. I appreciate it.
I missed this. I feel like you mentioned this after this, Sean, but I don't think you saw this message just because it's 2 hours ago from Liam, who said, is Zippo a reliable leaker, or do you think we'll get a Star Fox Assault remaster, whether his leak was real or not?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
No, this is over on Streamlabs. Yeah, I just looked now.
I wouldn't hold your breath. And there's always a chance. It would be cool to see. It's a good game, but yeah,
Feels like we're due for something Star Fox related.
Are we though?
I mean, I'd like to think we are. I'd like to think.
I would think so. I mean, they skipped. Well, no, they didn't skip any gen. I mean, technically, we had it last gen, but yeah, I mean, it's been a while. I think like a remaster. Yeah, maybe we see we've been getting a lot of remakes and remasters lately. So
Star Fox Adventures.
Where have you been the last decade?
Well, I mean, like Nintendo, like recently, there's been like a lot in a very concentrated period, right? Since the end of last year, Super Mario RPG. And obviously, we had a bunch. We had Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. We have Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So, I mean, they could continue on with that, right?
We got to start asking for a Donkey Kong game before a Star Fox game, though. Tropical Freeze came out well before Star Fox Zero.
Donkey Kong Country 2 remaster. You can play that.
Well, I mean, it's a few years, but yeah, I see what you're saying for sure. Because like Tropical Freeze was 2014, and then Zero was what, 2015 or 2016?
2016, I think.
Was it 2016? Okay,
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because that's when
I see what you're saying. Like a new Donkey Kong would be good because we haven't had a new one, and it's been a decade now. So
I'm getting real angry about it.
What if it was Donkey Kong Country Returns, just an HD remaster of the Wii game?
I'll take anything. I'm frothing at the mouth for Donkey Kong. I don't even care. They can give me whatever. I can get Donkey Konga 3. I will die for it. I just need something. That isn't Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Mario versus Donkey. That's not a Donkey Kong game.
No, that doesn't count at all.
That doesn't count. It's a whole different thing.
Adam says, with Capcom's Deep Down being vaporware for the last generation, do you feel that Pragmata could suffer the same fate? There's little to no information on the game, and it was announced at the start of this generation. Thanks, and keep up the great work.
Wasn't Deep Down, yes, it's vaporware, but wasn't that repurposed into like other stuff?
It most likely, because it was an engine test, I thought, from Capcom, and it's been used more or less in the more recent stuff.
They gave us that update with Pragmata that it was still happening. It just was going to take longer. So it feels like we're not going to see it again until, I mean, I guess it could be the Game Awards this year. I'm thinking like next year. So yeah. Lego Aloy says, will we get news on Project Latitude tomorrow? Will Phil Spencer talk about it? What games do you think will be announced multi-platform? Okay, well, one that I didn't mention was Doom. Doom's going to be on the PlayStation. So that's pretty straightforward there. And again, it just adds to all these games that we were talking about. So that's going to be a pretty big show. But other games that would, Spyro maybe. Let's say Spyro gets announced. That's probably on like all platforms. So, and then Call of Duty, obviously. DMAX says, I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and I was wondering what game you're most excited for. RE5 remake, RE9, or the possibility of Code Veronica getting the remake treatment. I think I know what Sean's going to say.
Code Veronica.
Yeah, Code Veronica. I figure that's what he's. I am curious about the RE5 remake, though. I think that'd be interesting.
Code Veronica, but yeah, RE5 would be awesome considering I changed my whole life trajectory just to play that game in college. So that would be really cool. Well, yeah, there was this stupid dancing class that I had to take. I've told this story before, but there was this stupid dancing class that I had to take to do physical education, like as a major. And I didn't want to take that class because it was like at 2:00 and all my classes were in the morning. I like to always get my classes done in the morning so I can just do whatever the hell I want for the rest of the day or whenever football practice started. So that class was like at 2:00 and Resident Evil came out. And I was like, it kept on interrupting me playing Resident Evil 5. So I just said, screw it. I just went to the place, changed my major, went to the thing, changed my major from physical education to just general kinesiology, just so I can play Resident Evil 5 because it was breaking up my Resident Evil 5 time. So yeah.
Dedication
to Resident Evil 5. I got the platinum in it. I had no girlfriend at the time. I had no girlfriend at the time either.
I mean, but had she come over and seen that platinum, she would have been all over you.
She would have been all over me. Yeah, the joke's back. Hey, I had no girlfriend at the time. Let's go.
We can't joke. Ryan's not here.
We're not allowed to joke. He's not here.
Hey, Sean, where can everyone find you?
RGC85. I make videos. Go check them out. They're kind of cool. They kind of suck.
Are you on a podcast, RGT? I heard that you're on another podcast and you usually show up on camera.
Oh, Game and Talk. The only reason I'm not on camera for this is because I'm on my Chromebook. I'm not at my setup.
I feel like those have cameras built in.
It's
you want him to webcam camera it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's fucking terrible. It's better off without it.
And then what about Josie?
You can find me on YouTube at Josie Will. I just make Nintendo content. I'm gonna have a video probably out like the beginning of this week about the little IGN experience because my friend and I got some footage and stuff.
Oh, good. I was gonna ask if you got footage.
Yeah, like a little bit, but there wasn't any like super cool. I just want to talk about the experience a little bit because I thought it was fun, cool, first time. You know,
bearing
doing that
those
stuff.
games. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for I will be plugging the heck out of that BMX thing. That was really fun.
Good stuff. I'll look into that now. That sounds interesting.
It was awesome.
BMX bikes.
It was so fun, and you can do all these different tricks in it, so that was really cool. So I'll have that. I'm also on Game and Talk with RGT. You should check that out. We'll have a live podcast next week, actually. So
hopefully there's a direct. That'd fit in perfectly if it's like Wednesday, and then you guys have the podcast that night.
Please, that'd be amazing. But yeah.
About Evan.
You can find me on YouTube at Kimmerix Project for anything tabletop. I actually got a video finally coming out, hopefully Monday. It's just rules overviews, but we try to stream Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, getting some projects done. I've got a lot of those coming up. So
good stuff. // asks, rank these worst to best. Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2. Worst to best? Ooh. That's tough. Worst.
Well, worst always implies that it's unplayable, but the reality is
they're games. All good games.
Yeah, it's just 3 games that you're just going to sequence. If it's for mechanics' sake, it would probably be 2 Morales and 1 because they increase the amount of things you can do the further in you go.
I mean, I would say that in that case, worst to best, probably for me, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
crazy! I'd say Miles was first.
Why is Miles Morales on your lowest list there, huh? You got a problem with you didn't like the character, huh?
Get him, chat. Get him.
Are you talking about the character that's also in Spider-Man 2?
Interesting. Yeah, but he was the focal point of Spider-Man Miles Morales. There was no one else.
The focal point in Miles Morales was him turning generators on with his power over and over again.
Interesting, John. Interesting.
You're digging yourself a deeper hole, RGT, to try to prove.
Everyone needs to understand that I had to push Sean through Spider-Man 2. I don't even know if you finished the game yet.
No, I didn't, but it had nothing to do with Miles Morales. It didn't capture me like Miles and Spider-Man 1 did.
Yeah, you played the other one. Yeah, you played through the other ones. I hear that with Spider-Man 2 actually quite a bit.
I just kind of got fatigued, honestly.
Yeah.
I think Miles Morales is my favorite game on the PS5.
Oh, wow.
That was so good. I don't know. Kind of really liked it.
And then Mark the Complete says that means Aloy can make the next Smash. Wow, people really want her in Smash all of a sudden.
Sorry, guys. Hate to report.
They want to see the reactions, I think.
It's not happening. But it would, if she was, it would get a reaction that was very similar. I wouldn't say it was similar, but when Cloud was revealed for Smash Brothers, that was pretty nuts because it was like that was kind of associated with Sony at that time. Because I don't think Final Fantasy VII was on any other platforms outside of PlayStation and maybe PC, but I don't know. I think in like 2015 or whenever Cloud was announced. So
well, you got everybody. All right, I think I got everything there. Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Probably a whole bunch of stuff to cover after everything is about to happen in the next 72 or so hours. And we will catch you guys then.